Gorilla Hebrew, seated on the left, is a prominent figure in the Hebrew Israelite community. He's a chief, leads his own faction, and has a group of dedicated students, essentially a respected leader in his circle. However, he has a long-standing critic, Tazario, pictured on the right. Tazario has made it clear he doesn't like Gorilla Hebrew, claiming he's overrated and receives praise he doesn't deserve. This is a classic case of disliking someone not for their actions, but because of the recognition they receive. Now, Wack 100 wasn't familiar with Gorilla Hebrew at first, but over time, Tazario repeatedly spoke to Wack about him, constantly bringing up his name. According to the conversation, it seems Tazario was frustrated that no jumper kept giving Gorilla Hebrew a platform. So when Wack showed up to the Thursday show and heard Gorilla Hebrew's name, he immediately recalled Tazario's comments. This led to Wack initiating a conversation with Gorilla Hebrew, eventually calling Tazario to join in. The goal appeared to be for Tazario to confront and potentially expose Gorilla Hebrew. When asked directly about the issue, Gorilla Hebrew responded by saying that Tazario had been imitating his approach for years. He emphasized that this wasn't just his opinion, but a fact, while also acknowledging that Tazario's association with others might complicate matters. Still, he stood by his view of the situation.
But that's the reality of the situation. So we'll get into it and then we'll be back cool. We'll
He keeps saying something about a broad or something.
I got you.
What is he talking about?
So what happened is I end up putting my broad out, right? Cutting her off financially, right? Years of issue. One of my wives, right? Boom, put her out, whatever. She get with jealous that was around me, hatch an entire plot, come out, try to expose all kind of bedroom business, etc.
Verbally or visually?
Text messages and verbally, right?
So she had audio.
Yeah, she had no audio. She had no audio of me.
She just her talking.
Her talking,
and
right?
Texts from you.
And now, mind you, she let spin narratives on Texas. She never gave context. She never did none of that, right?
But what did the text say to make
imagine you and your girl talking about all manner of freaky shit, right? Fantasy life, right? So when I make my fantasy, we talking about freak off type, right? Now, Captain Zariak has now turned this into, I'm a homosexual. There's no homosexual talk. There's no talk of me with a man, a child, anything like that. It's all about me and the right? Whatever. So these have now turned this into something completely different, and they're trying to run with it.
How do you turn that into a homosexual?
This is what happens when you preying on somebody's downfall and you looking to take somebody's position.
After hearing that first clip again, it's clear Wack understood the situation with the woman. He might not have recognized her face at first, but once he heard her name, he recalled all the stories. From there, Wack began piecing things together to create content, something he's known for doing well. In the Hebrew Israelite community, there are specific principles. You're not supposed to bring personal issues about your brother to the internet. Gossiping or exposing them publicly is frowned upon. Instead, you're expected to offer guidance if you believe they're making mistakes. When they kept referring to the broad, they were talking about his ex-wife who, at the time of the events, was still his wife. As explained, she released private messages between them. These messages showed her describing a personal fantasy with him engaging in the conversation. There was even a short time when they considered acting on it, but he ultimately decided it went too far and crossed a line. After their breakup, she chose to make those messages public, something many people would see as a betrayal. If a husband and wife privately discuss intimate matters, there's no justifying one partner exposing those conversations later. It's not only ungodly, it's one of the most disloyal acts someone can commit. She was the one proposing the idea, yet after the relationship ended, she used it to shame him. And according to some, including Wack, those who took her side are even worse. If a wife comes to you with personal details about her ex-husband, not even wrongdoing, just intimate conversations, and you take it online to gossip, you're crossing a line. That's why Wack 100 called Cesario, leading to a back and forth exchange between them.
I'm up here with Gorilla Hebrew. I can't really remember because I remember y'all was cool, and then you been on him, and I said I can't remember, and I asked him what was the issue. He's saying you putting homosexual allegations on him, bro. Like, why would you? Where that coming from?
I didn't put no sexual allegation. It's wild. Put sexual allegation.
What did she show for make you believe that?
She showed the text message exchanges between them. He had her do online pages to solicit white men to watch them have sex with her. How they purchased pagan devices to have sex with each other. That's what, and then he admitted that the text message with the.
So he's saying that. So you're saying, let me get this right, that he wanted to watch what they call that, cocking or cucking. He wanted to watch a white dude have sex with his wife. Okay, was the pegging devices used for the white dude, or you saying the text message?
Pegging devices were used for him.
Is it any truth to that?
No, I've never been pegged in my life, and I've never watched my wife have sex with anybody in my life.
So did you text that you wanted to see
We literally were fantasizing. Now she's the one who asked me about the pegging device. That was from her. That's not from me.
So
I never been pegged in my entire life.
What did you say to her when she asked you?
We just was having sexual conversation. My
being
bitch.
open.
That's it.
You was being open.
That's
Hold on,
it.
wait, nah, cause bro, this serious. Cause this
serious,
is an Israelite community. So now hold on now, because this go back to y'all. Teach y'all both
Of course.
Israelites, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you supposed to be fraternizing or even anything like that about a white man?
No, first off, no, you're not supposed to do it. But here's the issue, though. The issue is this whole thing happened. I, on my own record, said, you know what? This ain't right. I went to therapy in regards to this. This woman got mad after I cut her off financially, and a couple months later tried to come and weaponize it against. Now, mind you, now we supposed to follow the Bible. The Bible say the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall a matter be established. They don't have 2 or 3 witnesses that I've actively participated in any of those things. Hold on, no, don't cut me off. Let me, hold on. No, listen. But 2 or 3 witnesses again. Now, if I say this is just a text message and say, hold on, Tazariak, I'm making a point. Thank you. 2 or 3 witnesses, right? So you cannot convict me of any sin unless you have at least 2 witnesses to substantiate it.
That's why I don't religion.
Now listen, hold on. Can I finish my point? Let me finish my point though. Let me finish my point though.
I'm not part of their religion, so I'm not going to get into their specific rule that says 2 or 3 witnesses are needed to confirm something. That's not what this situation is about, and it's not connected to Guerrilla Hebrew. Let's take a different example. Imagine a female college student goes to a party and is assaulted by a fraternity member. The assault happens in a closed room with only the 2 of them present. Later, investigators find his DNA on her, discover she was unconscious, intoxicated, and vomiting, and they even recover a condom wrapper with his DNA. All the physical evidence is there. Should they still say, well, there were no witnesses, so we can't do anything? Of course not. Or let's say there's a hidden recording device that captures her screaming during the incident. Again, it would make no sense to dismiss the case simply because no one else was physically in the room to witness it. However, there's also the reality that people do lie, and if the standard is only needing 2 or 3 individuals to come forward, that can be dangerous. If 2 or 3 dishonest people decide to coordinate an accusation that could destroy someone's life, in this case, he eventually admitted some details. He explained that he and the woman had been texting and chatting about a particular intimate act, pegging, but it never went beyond conversation. Rumors claim his wife even purchased the device for it, but he says they never actually did. He felt uncomfortable and decided to keep it as a fantasy. While he was fine discussing it, he couldn't bring himself to follow through in real life.
What you got to say about 2 or 3 witnesses?
See, this the problem. I gotta finish my point though.
This serious though.
No, so very simple. Hold on. So this man's going around saying I'm a homosexual when there's no allegation of me having any type of sexual encounter or any desire to have any sexual encounter with a man. There's not in no text, not nowhere in life.
Oh, the pegging part.
No, exactly. Now again, I've never been pegged in my whole life. That's never happened. Hold on. He's talking in the mic. I'm trying to talk. I don't even get to finish my point because he's busy trying to push narrative.
About bigger than what'd you say?
In the text message, he said, how you gonna hit me with something bigger than what I hit you with?
Did the word say
again?
That?
No, listen. I'm not saying it again. Listen. Here's the point though.
How you gonna hit me with something bigger than I hit you with? What did you mean by that?
This is very simple, right? Me and her play a game of teasing because it motivates me to knock her down, right? So I tell her, I encourage you to tease me about my size, which makes me show up in the bedroom. It's just what happens, right?
But you're referring to 2.
No.
You refer to a penis and another object.
No. Listen, Wack. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. And you're missing what I'm saying, right? So the context of me making the statement, hold on, Tazariak. The context of me making that statement is because that is a pre-existing thing that exists in our bedroom. right? But what nobody's doing here is this. Nobody's factoring in.
You is pre-existing?
No. My size is a pre-existing thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
We know when you said,
So that's why that.
We know you know what you're supposed to do.
No, is that so?
Can you explain how you gonna hit me with something?
Listen again. So that's where that statement came from. But again, this has never occurred. She wanted to get a pegging device. Now ask her, did she ever peg me? Nobody asked her that.
Can I please?
Hold on, listen. No, damn all that.
I'll be honest, and maybe some will disagree with me on this, but I just don't believe you can truly classify anything involving a woman as homosexual activity. I'm sorry, but I can't see it that way. If it involves a woman, I can't label it as that. Maybe it could be described as experimental, unconventional, or flamboyant, but to me, it's not the same. Unless another man is involved, regardless of what device is used or how it's used, I wouldn't define it that way. Now, if he never actually engaged with the device and it was only a method to enhance excitement so he could perform better, then that's another situation entirely. Early on, he mentioned that she would shame his size or suggest involving a white man or have him watch her with a white man. They discuss these ideas as a way to motivate him because he views the concept of a white man being with his wife as deeply offensive. That thought alone would make him want to perform at his best, in my opinion. However, someone chooses to enhance their experience is their own business. But what really caught my attention in this clip was the part about offering Tesario the opportunity to face me directly to debate, to exchange ideas, to challenge my positions, and explain why he believes I'm wrong or not a true Israelite. Tesario declined. He refused the debate. From my perspective, that's hard to respect. You can't criticize someone publicly, make countless videos about them, question their abilities, and then back out when given the chance for a fair, face-to-face discussion, especially when that offer was made before any of this recent situation happened. That's the most revealing part to me. A person who's comfortable making accusations from a distance but avoids an official debate is in the wrong. They should have the conversation, because if you've made those statements, you should be willing to stand by them in direct dialogue.
You said some shit.
Oh, they already had it though.
Witness.
Hey, let me
be 3 people.
Who got a debate?
You and Tesario.
Who? His generals turned down my debate. We offered him money. His generals wouldn't let him debate me. This belonged before that happened. They been scared of me. We ain't even worried about that. We ain't worried about
scared of debate?
Yeah, I'm trying to host that.
Hold on. You scared of debate?
His big homies know what's gonna happen. His big homies know what's gonna happen. We know that.
What you mean by debate?
Yeah.
You ain't talking about that physical?
No.
Okay. Listen,
I done saved him from being shot out here. I ain't saying nothing physical. I done saved his life before. Generals did.
That's out.
I got 10,000 of these generals turned down the debate. Ask him right now. Ask him right now if that happened. Ask that. We offer money. I didn't offer money. A neutral party.
Okay, hold on. What you saying?
That part that he's saying is correct. Like they wanted.
There we go. He wouldn't let it happen.
They wanted to do a debate on the New Testament. My school felt that they was beneath us debating them. That's why I got turned.
Okay, but Tesario, respectfully, Gorilla Hebrew, he's a name. You can't say he beneath.
Respectfully, he was a name.
No, but at that time, okay, even at that time, that was probably prior to this other shit going on. So for you to turn.
For what we did, yeah, I wouldn't say he's not a name in Israel. I wouldn't say he's not. He was tight. That was my boy for.
So what? You been kicked out of exile or something?
No,
I don't know all the shit.
I can't be kicked out of my. I have my own camp. They can't kick me out of that.
Okay, so.
Yeah, but we don't fuck with him, though.
So you saying you won't debate him at all now?
No, hell no.
Nobody should respect that. If you claim to be a debate champion, regularly taking on others, including the so-called red pill crowd, but refuse to sit down with the person you've criticized for years to discuss why you've been calling them out, that's hard to justify. To me, that's not right. That said, this situation doesn't change my opinion of Gorilla Hebrew. If anything, it reinforces that he needs to be on No Jumper more often. We got solid content out of it. He came through and delivered. Shout out to everyone involved, and shout out to Wack for bringing the content as well. Before it all started, I told everyone, we're not going to talk about this. Don't bring it up. But Wack wasn't at that meeting, so when he showed up, he went ahead and stirred things up anyway. And honestly, it made for good material. He handled it well. Let me know in the comments, do you think Gorilla Hebrew should be considered? homosexual for this situation, or do you think people are blowing it way out of proportion? And if you're still watching, click the video on your screen to see why bets decline and the fall of the bet awards was inevitable and well-deserved. Check it out to hear the full breakdown. I'm out.